Assalamu alaikum students. I am Ma'am Iram from Ilm Online Academy. So in today's lecture, we are going to discuss the remaining questions for exercise 1.3a as we were discussing this before. In this exercise, basically we discussed about the prime numbers at the very start, and I told you that prime numbers are the numbers that are going to be divisible, or you can say that they are having only two factors. One is the number 1 and the number itself. Fine. For that, the numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. Like all of these numbers are the prime numbers. Why these are called the prime numbers? Because the number 2, if you are going to take, so it's only have the factor number 1 and the number 2 itself. Fine, just two factors. This one number is having. So accordingly, we discussed that how we can make the factors for a number, how we can write the multiples for the number. Also, if we want to find out the HCF and LCM for some particular number, so how we can get that. So you can check the previous video, and in that you will be having the better idea. Today in this lecture, we are going to start from question number 11th and onward. And from question number 11, they are talking about the concept about the square. Fine. So let's start. First of all, if we would be talking about a square of a number, so as in the start as well, I told you about that what is basically a square, and you might already know about the square. So square means that if a number is going to multiply itself two times, so we are going to say that we are taking the square of the number. And for this, you can represent the number in the form of power like this, like 2 square, this one is. Similarly, if I'm going to have 4 times 4, this is also can be written in the form of square, like 4 square. Similarly, some other numbers, 11 times 11, 11 square, it will be. Even you can write some decimal numbers as well. Like if I have 2.3 times 2.3, so I can also represent it in the form of square, like 2.3 square. So similarly here from question number 11 and onward, but they are asking that without using the calculator, we need to work out the answers for these all squares and some, okay, fine. We have been given the cubes as well. So for the cubes, like a number, similar number must be multiplied 3 times itself. So that would be the cube. Okay, so accordingly, let's start the questions. Like first of all, they gave us the A part, and in this we needs to take the square for the number 4. So it's really simple. Like if we needs to go without calculator, so how we will be work on the 4 square, we needs to write down 4 times 4 and it would be 16. Just very simple. Okay, similarly, some randomly I'm taking, we have 6 square. So we need to make it as 6 times 6 and it will be 6 square. Okay, if we need to find out the cube of a number, like in the part D, they gave us 3 cube. So we need to multiply a similar number 3 times itself, thrice, like 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 9, 9 3 times is 27. So here we got this cube of a number. Similarly, they gave us 10 cube. So like finding the cubes of tens, hundreds, thousands are really easy. You can just apply some zeros according to that. Like you can count the zeros, how many zeros are being multiplied with each other, and just write them with one, like 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. That's it. Okay. So this is the concept about the squares and the cubes. For square, you need to multiply a particular number by itself 2 times, and for the cube, you will multiply a particular number 3 times itself. Okay, next we need to work on okay, using the calculator. They're saying you can use this button and you need to find out the answer on the calculator. So just you need to first of all write down this number and then press this button. Okay, these are basically the steps. First 9, then you can press this particular button, and whatsoever the power is being given, you need to just put that power and press the equal sign and you will be getting the answer. For example, similarly, like you can choose some decimal numbers as well. So for example, if I have a number and I need to use the calculator, here we have the calculator. So first of all, like I want to take the square of 4. So what I will do, first of all, I will press 4 and then this particular number, square number, put the equal sign and here we got the square. Okay, similarly, we can take the squares of some decimal numbers as well. Like for example, I have 2.5, I need to take the square of 2.5 and here I got the square. So using the calculator, scientific calculator, you can find out the squares of the numbers and this way they will be easier as well. Okay, so this was question number 12. So you need to work on the question number 12 completely on the calculator, so we can skip them. Okay, next we need to go with question number 13. And in this question number 13, they're asking to find the areas of these squares. So we must know first of all what is the formula for finding out the area of square. So area of square is basically equals to side times side. Okay, as for the square we have four sides and all of these four sides are basically equal. Okay, so whatsoever the side you would be picking up, that side will be equal. Like if this has been like given as 2.1, so this will be also 2.1, this will be also 2.1. You can use L square as well, like one side length you can say as L, so this one as well is L, so side times side will be L square. So similar thing will be there. So they're asking here to find out the areas of the square. So to find out the areas of square, we need to use the square working just the way we were doing before. First one, A part in this, we need to find out the area of square. So area of square is basically length times length. So two lengths, they already been given. One is 2.1 and other as well is 2.1. Along with that, they gave some units as well. So you can times the units as well. Like 2.1 times 2.1, and now we will be multiplying with each other. For multiplication, you can use the calculator if they are allowing you. So otherwise, if they are not like allow you to use the calculator, so for that, you can simply multiply these numbers together. Fine, like 2.1 needs to be multiplied with 2.1. So first number 1 you will use to multiply this one with both of these numbers one by one. So 1 times 1 and 2 1 times 2. Put a zero sign, or you can even apply the multiplication sign, or either use the zero as well. To 1 times 2 and to 2 times 4. So 1 4 4. We can just add the numbers together. So after that, we need to check that where we need to apply this decimal point. So for that, you can check that how many numbers are on the right side of these two decimal points. So two numbers are there. So counting from the right side, after two numbers, you need to apply this decimal point. So what number I got? 4.41. Along with this number, as they have given us the units as well, so don't forget the unit. Centimeter times centimeter will be also centimeter square. So in this way, you need to work on the formulas of the square. Let's go on with this part B. In the part B, they gave us the square with 0.6 and 0.6 side lengths. So again, we need to find out the area of the square. So that will be also side times side. So one side length is 0.6 and other side length as well is 0.6. Again, if you want to multiply 0.6 times 0.6, you can multiply just the way I multiplied 2.1 times 2.1. Otherwise, here we can multiply directly as well, because I know that 6 times 6, and before decimal point, there are two numbers. So directly we can write 0.36. Okay. And this one as well is with the unit centimeter. So you can write the answer in the form of centimeter square. Okay, let's go on with this part C. In this part C, again, we need to find out the area. That will be also like side times side or length times length, similar formula. So for this, we are going to write down the side 14 meters. This time they gave us the unit as meter. Previously, they were giving us the centimeter. So accordingly, units you will just change. Okay. So now we need to go on with 14 times 14. That would be 196. Along with that, meter square this time you will write. Okay, so in this way, you can take the squares of the numbers. Okay. Okay, this was your complete part number 13. That is basically based on the area of square. Hope so this is clear. Moving towards the next 14th part, and this 14th part, what they gave that 100 million is basically equal to 10 raised to the power x, means the power of the x is basically missing. So we need to basically find out the value of the x over here. So for this question number 14, what we will do, first of all, we will represent the left hand side in the form of power, like as they gave us the 100 million. And that is basically equals to 10 raised to the power x. We need to find out the value of x. Here, first of all, if we will be writing 100 million, million is basically showing us the number 10 power 6. Along with that, this 10 power x will be as it is. Now this 6 and this 100, we can also write it down as 10 raised to the power 2. That's 10 square. Fine. So whenever your bases are similar, your power needs to be added, like 2 plus 6. Okay, bases are similar, like 10 as well as base over here. Here as well, 10 is, this one is base. So bases are similar. With the multiplication sign, you needs to add the power. So 2 plus 6 you needs to do, and then 10 power x similar as it is. So 6 plus 2 will be 8 and 10 power x. So as your both sides, on the both sides, the bases are similar. So you can directly compare your powers to get the value for the x. So here we got x is equals to 8. Okay. In this way, any of the number, you can just change it in the form of power and then compare the powers if your bases are similar. So you can find out the values of some unknowns. So this was your part number 14. Next, moving towards part number 15, in this, they are asking to find out the reciprocal of each number. Reciprocal of the each number means that you need to basically invert a particular number, or for this, you can use a sign as well. Like, for example, if I have to find out the reciprocal of a number 5, so I will be writing it as 1 by 5. If I need to find out the reciprocal of 2 by 3, I need to invert the number as 3 by 2. Even like, for example, if I already have a number in the form of denominator, like in this way, we don't have any power of this number, so we can consider that this is having the power 1. Whenever we are taking a reciprocal of this kind of number, so just you need to shift it in the numerator, and for that you will change the power, the sign of the power. Okay, like here this is positive 1, so when you will bring it in the numerator, this will be negative 1. So this is basically the sign we use to find out the reciprocal of a number. Like if they simply gave some of the numbers I've been given over here, these are all the reciprocal numbers. So we need to just show them in the form of either fraction, either decimal, whatsoever we are just talking about. So if, for example, they have given 5 inverse, so we need to just show it as 1 by 5. Okay, so according to this concept, we need to work on part number 15 and part number 16 and onward. So let's go on. We need to go with reciprocals of the numbers. So in the first part of question number 15, what they gave us is to find out the reciprocal of a number 7. So simply, like if you want to find out the reciprocal of number 7, you need to write 1 by 7. Next, B part is 12. So you need to find out the reciprocal, and you will be simply writing 1 by 12. If they gave us a negative number, just the way they gave us the C part, this is -4. And we need to find out the reciprocal of -4, that will be -1 by 4. Or even you can represent this negative sign with the 4 as well. That will be also fine. Okay, similarly, if they gave us the decimal number, so similar thing we will be working on. Like for example, they gave us this D part as 3.5. And if I'm going to find out the reciprocal of this number, so I'm going to write it down as 1.1 by 3.5. One is this thing. One is this method as well. Like firstly, you can just make this decimal number into a simple fractional form. For that, we can write 35 by 10. And then to take the reciprocal, you can make the 10 inward upward and 35 downward. So this is also one way to represent. And if you want to go with simplification, you can do a bit simplification as well. 5 2 times 10, 5 7 times 35. So 2 by 7 is coming as a reciprocal of a number. Otherwise, this one as well is fine. This is also showing that we have taken the reciprocal of the number 3.5. Okay. So similarly, they gave us 1 by 2. And we need to find out the reciprocal for 1 by 2. And they gave us the part E, 1 by 2. Again, similar thing, like if we want to take the reciprocal of 1 by 2, we need to write as 2 by 1. So down here, under that, no need to represent the 1. Simply, you can write the 2. But for F part, as they give the number in the numerator and denominator as well in the form of fraction, so we are going to change it as 5 by 3. So all of these are basically the concept of reciprocals. Okay, from part A to F we have done. Next, they're saying that from question number 16 to 20, you need to work out the value of the given number, whatsoever the number they have given with the reciprocal, and both as a fraction and as a decimal as well. So we will change all of these first with the fraction form, and then that fraction form will be converted into decimal form. Okay, so let's go on with part number 16. They have given us, first of all, to inverse or reciprocal of the two. First of all, let's represent it in the form of fraction. So we will be writing as 1 by 2. And as 1 by 2, I need to represent into decimal as well. So that will be 0.5. Okay, 1 by 2 means half, and half is basically 0.5. So in this way, directly as well, you can represent. This is your part number 16. Next, moving your part number 17, they gave us 10 inverse. So for representing the 10 inverse, first of all, in the form of fraction, we are going to write as 1 by 10. But if we want to represent it into the decimal form, so we are going to write it as 0.1. Okay, so this is basically the decimal form. Next, part number 18, they gave us 5 inverse. So we need to represent 5 inverse as 1 by 5 is a fraction form, and then we can represent it as in the form of decimal as well. So 1 by 5 will be 0.2. And if you want to change it, like you want to see how we will be changing it to 0.2, keep that 1 inside without calculator and 5 outside. So 5 can't be divided, like 1 is not divisible by 5. It's smaller number, so just make 1 0 over here by using this decimal point above. So 5 2 times 10. So in this way as well, you can represent the number. Okay. Okay, otherwise for these smaller fractions, we can directly write the decimal form as well. Now let's see question number 20. They gave us 8 inverse. So first of all, we will represent this 8 inverse in the form of fraction. And then this 1 by 8, we need to represent in the form of decimal as well. So for that, again, similar thing you will do, keeping the 1 above inside and 8 outside, we are going to divide it. And so we are getting 0.125. Okay, so this is basically the concept about the reciprocal. That is also very easy concept. So hope so this one exercise is clear to you all. So again, you need to do the practice of some questions, like whenever we want to have the grip on the math, so we need to practice it. Okay, so this is all for this lecture. See you in the next class. Allah Hafiz.